live my next guest now. A leading employer in the disability sector, Justin Scanlon, says the coronavirus will drive the need for more disability support workers in the coming months. Here to tell us more is the Managing Director of Hearth Support Services, Justin Scanlon. Welcome to you, Justin.
Thank you, Alana. How are you?
I'm very well. Now tell us a little bit about Hearth. Tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Yes, I founded Hearth a few years ago. I have a child with a complex disability who's 13, and I couldn't find in the sector an organisation that really met our needs. Hearth recruits, deploys and matches and supports participants in the system to build their capacity over time. So support workers is our core business, and employing support workers and matching them to families. So, we have grown rapidly over the last few years as the need to provide support workers in the sector grows, and also the sector transitions from state-based funding to federal funding under the National Disability Insurance Scheme.
Right, okay. So what's happening in the disability support sector, particularly at the moment with the impact of coronavirus? How's that affected you?
Yeah, well, I think I recall March the 13th when the Grand Prix was cancelled. From there, it's been a very intense period for us, as with everyone. We're a people business, and people and society have been fundamentally impacted by the coronavirus. Fortunately, we're an essential service, so our business has remained open, and in fact the demand for service has increased because a number of the special schools and a number of the day programs are not open at the moment, which means that we need to provide more support for people with disability in their home and also in the community for exercising and also to get out. So we've been extremely busy, and I think, like everyone, over the last few weeks, we've been continuing to interpret the federal and state regulations and guidance that they're giving us, and working out, well, what does it mean for our support workers? What's it mean for our clients?
Well, I mean, you've said coronavirus will drive a need for 10,000 more disability workers in the coming months. I mean, that's a massive amount of jobs. Why do you believe there will be such a huge increase in the demand there?
Yeah, so this depends on how the coronavirus plays out, and fortunately in Victoria and Australia, it hasn't played out as other parts of the world. But I think what's important is we need a contingent workforce in the event that families are in quarantine, or support workers. So we are an essential service, and we need to ensure that the support continues. So the 10,000 is in the national context. The NDIS is a $22 billion scheme, and roughly support work represents about 60% of that funding.
Right.
The 10,000 is also in the context of what has been in the public domain over the last 6 months, that the sector needs, over the next couple of years, another 90,000 jobs in order to provide the right support for people with disability.
Okay, so what kind of roles are we talking about here then? What do you believe will be actually required?
So what we do is support people in the home and the community, one-to-one support, but the roles that the 10,000 roles would also include all the related roles. So we have case manager or relationship manager roles in our organisation. We've got recruitment teams and a whole lot of other support roles. So there are the core of what we do is support work, but also all the related roles. And support work is a fantastic way to gain great capabilities to take you both into the health sector, but also outside the health sector as well.
Okay, so what kind of training is required for these roles?
That's a great question. When we set up Hearth, we looked at how we can respond to the significant demand in building a workforce of the future with such significant demand. So we don't mandate initial qualifications, but what we do is spend a lot of time in initially matching support workers to families, to participants, and then working out what the need is for training, whether it's complex medical support required or with participants on the spectrum that might need specific training on how to manage complex behaviours. It might be supporting someone who might be non-verbal. So really the sector is so diverse, and really no two people are the same. So what you need to do is firstly get the right match of support worker and participant, understand then the skills of the support worker, but more importantly, what's required to support the participant, and then provide the relevant training. So if someone is non-weight bearing, then we have a centre OT that trains in how to support someone who can't weight bear. So, yeah, and there is no one qualification with you to successfully support the complex nature of participants in the sector, which makes it exciting and challenging and interesting, because everyone really is very different.
Well, absolutely, and particularly at this time with so many people out of work or doing less, there are a lot of people that are looking at other options, potentially other career paths to take. So, I mean, what are some of the main benefits of working in the disability sector, do you think?
I think for me it's really for purpose. It's quite a very rewarding profession and role. I think what's also important is that it is an essential service. So we are as busier than ever at the moment providing support with people with a disability. So I think the idea, and I continue to think of the sectors that at the moment are not operating, hospitality, entertainment, etc. And I think what we may find is people thinking about maybe balancing their portfolio of employment. So I think this will certainly, and we're already talking to a number of people who are looking at potentially transitioning into an essential service sector. The benefit of working as a support worker in the sector is the amazing skills and capabilities that you develop that are in demand wherever you want to work. So a lot of our best support workers would be snapped up by any leading organisation in Australia. I know that because I spent the early part of my career in Foster's, Cambridge and Telstra, so I have an understanding of what large corporates are looking for, and the skills and capabilities that support workers develop over time, the ability to communicate, interpersonal skills, the ability to think agilely, which for all of us through the coronavirus times is a challenge that everyone's working through.
Oh, absolutely. Look, you've made some very good points. How can people find out more information on Hearth Health Services?
Hearth Support Services, Alana, go onto our website and to find out a little bit more about what we do, how we work. We are a little different in that we provide sustainable supports and build sustainable relationships. So go on to the Hearth Australia website and then they'll be guided through the process.
Oh, fantastic business. All the best to you and your team through this time, and thanks for your time, Justin.
Thank you for your time, Alana.